These days, the biggest mistake is using AI. So ChatGPT is the biggest pain point. Universities want original work. They want your thought process.
Why should a student go to abroad?
By way of academic rigor, even India is doing excellently now. But what is missing is the balance between practicality and theoretic. And when I got into this business, I made it my mission to visit most of the universities. So I have visited a lot of campuses, countries, and universities because we want to focus on scholarships always. The earlier we apply, the better the chances for getting more funding from a university. But over there, the second you go into university, you are an adult. You address the professor not by professor, not by sir, by their first student. You need to know what he himself will experience at some point. So in fact, I have done my MBA from the University of Nottingham in the UK. And I did it 8 years after starting my company.
हेलो वेलकम टू एम्पावरिंग यू बाय मीडियागढ़। सो आज का ये पॉडकास्ट बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि आज के इस पॉडकास्ट में जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं वो हमें ये बताएंगे कि अगर आपको इंडिया से बाहर स्टडीज़ करने जाना है तो कैसे आप जा सकते हैं। एंड मेरे लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि मैं आगे मेरे कुछ क्लोज वंस हैं जिनको मैं बाहर भेजना चाहता हूँ, तो इसीलिए मैंने उनको इनवाइट किया है ताकि मैं डायरेक्टली उनसे लर्निंग ले सकूँ। सो थैंक यू सो मच अनिरुद्ध जी फॉर कमिंग फॉर टुडेज पॉडकास्ट एंड एक्सेप्टिंग माई इनवाइट। सो अनिरुद्ध जी, थोड़ा सा आप अपने बारे में बताइए कि आप कैसे ये बाहर कैसे भेजते हैं लोगों को।
So process तो actually काफ़ी लंबा हो जाता है normally, but we started 20 years ago.
ओके
Right out of college, this is what I wanted to do because
Okay.
actually I faced the same challenge. I wanted to study abroad and I realized the process was very difficult. I faced lots of challenges
ओके
and I was not happy with the guidance I received.
ओके
So that is when I knew this is what I wanted to do.
ओके। तो आपने जस्ट कॉलेज के बाद ये सोच लिया और ये स्टार्ट कर दिया कि यस आई विल बी सेंडिंग किड्स टू अब्रॉड।
Correct, absolutely.
ओके
Because I felt there was a big gap and I realized there was a big gap in this market.
ओके। विच बिजनेस स्कूल यू वेंट?
I went to a school called IIPM
ओके
in New Delhi.
ओके ओके। फ्रॉम दैट यू गॉट द इनसाइट्स।
Correct.
ओके
So they focused a lot on entrepreneurship and creating business plans, case studies. So, I mean, I was just trying to figure out what to do next. And luckily, this opportunity came ahead.
ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। दिस वाज अ थिंग मेनली कि कॉलेज में यू क्रिएटेड वन केस स्टडी एंड फ्रॉम दैट केस स्टडी यू गॉट मोटिवेटेड।
So, I wanted to go abroad for my own education, for my bachelor's. And fresh out of school, 5, 6 friends, we were all excited, let's go abroad. So, we went from counselor to counselor, counselor to counselor. And everyone had different advice.
ओके
Matlab, for the same country, they were talking about different things. And we realized that they could not answer our questions about why should I even go there? Why is this university better? Like when we asked them to compare, they could not give us a comparison.
ओके
So I actually, funnily enough, dropped my plans and I stayed and studied in Delhi. But a lot of my friends had also, of course, studied abroad. So that thought was always there that I was not convinced with the logic. See, to invest this much money, financial resources are, of course, tough. I could not ask my family to sacrifice at that time nearly 1 crore rupees. And I'm talking about 25 years ago.
ओके
So it was very expensive even then to do a bachelor's program for 4 years. I was thinking of going to the US, but it did not. And I mean, being the baniya that I am, I could not see the value because the counselors could not explain that to me.
ओके
So that germ was always there. So I did my graduation here, and as part of that, I realized that there is a business which I can do, and do it the right way.
Okay. As per you, first thing, why should a student go to abroad for studies when we have so many institutions all across India?
So we have lakhs of students every year who are graduating both school and university.
Okay.
How are they standing out? The number of jobs are set. The economies, yes, are growing, but they are looking at the best. So even if you have, say, 10 lakh people graduating every year, not all 10 lakhs will get jobs. So how do you create that differentiation? How do you stay that one step ahead?
Okay.
That is what the international education will give you, the exposure will give you. So it's not just studies. The exposure, the travel, meeting new people, getting new ideas, that is something we can't do in this classroom, sitting here.
Yeah.
Only very, very few institutions, and not all of us are lucky enough to, say, go to a top 10 Indian institution like the IITs or the IIMs. But beyond that, how do you do this?
Actually, I'm realizing like when I was in my college, there were people from Bengal, there were people from Bihar, there
Right.
were people from Kerala, and all parts of the country. And I feel that I discovered myself when I was dealing with them, and then actually I got the real insights.
Exactly.
Because when you are in your hometown, you feel everything is
Correct.
good, everything is great, and all are my friends. But when you go out and connect with these people, then you understand that how life goes. Now, if I'm going outside India, then I'm dealing with people, someone from Germany, someone from X country, someone from Y country, someone from Z country, all the different parts
Correct.
of the world. Then definitely the learning would be totally different.
Learning is totally different. It's a lot of fun learning about different cultures, celebrating their festivals, learning a little bit of their language. And also, see, the world has become a global place. India is it's not about India anymore. The world is very small. You can reach the other side of the planet in less than 15 hours today. So there is a lot of movement. And from that point of view, we have to look outside. You need to be able to know how to deal with the Spanish, how to deal with a Chinese, how to deal with an American, because all their styles are different. But how will you
Agreed.
learn it? Only when you study abroad, you will run across people from these countries with from different nationalities. You will learn what makes them think, what makes them tick.
True, true. Totally relatable. Now, if we talk about this overall personality development, apart from this, what are the benefits like curriculum is advanced there or it's the same like Indian universities?
So it's about balanced.
Okay.
By way of academic rigor, even India is doing excellently now. But what is missing is the balance between practicality and theoretical. India, unfortunately, still focuses a lot more on theory.
Okay.
But that balance, so the quality of infrastructure, the laboratories, for example, the
Okay.
professors also, their own experience, you cannot compare. So, what you get abroad, outside India, in many, many, many universities, is the overall package. So, they
Okay.
will focus on your whole growth,
Okay.
not just theoretical growth.
Okay. So, when you started this, just a question on my mind. When you started this, after that, you must have also visited many universities all across the world.
Yes, I have luckily had the privilege initially of traveling for pleasure. I mean, my family used to, I mean, they still love traveling a lot. So because of them, I have anyway traveled. And when I got into this business, I made it my mission to visit most of the universities we work with. So I
Okay.
have visited a lot of campuses, countries, and universities.
Okay. Wow. That's great. That's the real benefit of being in the study abroad business,
Correct.
which I feel.
And see, again, to guide the student, you need to know what he himself will experience at some point. So, in
Agreed.
fact, I have done my MBA from the University of Nottingham in the UK.
Okay.
And I did it 8 years after starting my company. So, I
Oh,
took a
wow.
break to do my MBA because I felt it was the right time. And I
Okay.
also, I mean, considering I sent students abroad and I had not studied abroad, I felt something was missing
Okay. So you went there for 2 years and then the
for 1 year.
MBA, 1 year, 1 year MBA program. Wow, that's great. So now also we can go for the MBA.
You can do an MBA at any age,
Okay.
it's never a barrier.
I will plan someday. Great. So, what is the typical timeline? Let's say if I have to go for MBA, then from when I should start and how I should plan.
So, for any studies abroad, you need a lead time of 12 to 18 months,
Okay.
give or take. So, let us assume you want to start studying in September 2025.
Okay.
So, you will start planning at least 1 year before
Okay.
because the process takes time. You have to give competitive exams, you need to choose your universities, and normally the first application deadlines will be as early as December. So
Okay.
universities might have one, two, or even three deadlines.
Okay.
And because we want to focus on scholarships always, the earlier we apply, the better the chances for getting more funding from a university. So that is
Okay.
why if we don't start a year or even in fact 16, 17 months in advance, we will not be able to do this in time
Okay.
properly.
Okay. And what are the key documents which I feel which are required for this, and how you generally help the students?
So we have a very comprehensive checklist which is specific to every country we work with.
Okay.
Countries will also have specific requirements,
Okay.
which might be a little different. But across the board, the major documents are, of course, your academic documents, which means your class 10, class 12, graduation certificates, mark sheets, and your degree.
Okay.
Now, along with that, you will most likely need to give an English language exam, which
Okay.
might be the IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. In some cases, which are universities which are very highly competitive, you might even need to give a GMAT or a GRE examination. So, along with this, you need to write multiple essays and a statement of purpose. You also need letters of recommendation from your professors, or if you have any work experience, from your company. So,
Okay.
these are the major set of documents which we need.
Okay. And what are the major mistakes which students do while like going through their application process?
These days, the biggest mistake is using AI. So, ChatGPT is the biggest pain point.
Okay.
So universities want original work. They want your thought process. There is no wrong answer here. When you fill an application form, what are you doing? You're writing your name, address, phone number, passport number, marks. But do they tell you about your personality, about who you are, what are you thinking? That is your personal statement. Now, even if you use other sources or copy your friends, they will not be able to tell your story. And universities, of course, they see thousands of applications every year. They are smart enough to realize that something is not matching. And that is why they end up rejecting you. So for me, that is the biggest mistake currently.
Okay.
Others are all smaller mistakes which are correctable. You
Okay.
missed a deadline, you just need to be better prepared,
Okay.
that way. And before we start, we make sure the documents are complete.
Okay.
So, we cannot even start the process from our point. We are very clear. Until 100% of my document checklist is done, we will not start.
Okay.
So that means the applications, once we start, are very efficient.
Oh, great. And what about the expenses? How much expenses we have to like plan if we have to go for, let's say, UK only
Okay.
for the graduate program?
So for undergraduate education, typical tuition fees start at £10,000 and goes up to £38,000 a year. This is for a top university like, say, Oxford or Cambridge.
Okay.
And for master's programs, the tuition fee starts at about £12,000 and goes up to £45,000 a year.
Okay.
So, and as far as living expenses are concerned, in the UK, if we talk about specifically, on an average, it is about £1,000 a month.
Okay.
Only London is more expensive
Okay.
because the rents are more expensive. So, London, your living cost will be about £1,500-1,600 a month.
Okay. Apart from that, other parts of the UK,
Other parts are generally cheaper.
Okay. And how the students manage their finances?
So, of course, now there are multiple methods of managing your finance. So, first, of course, is that the family has to, of course, help some parts of it. There are now multiple scholarships which you can apply for. So,
Okay.
the each university will have its own specific scholarship, which will be merit based or need based. Both are available. Then
Okay.
we also have lots of external scholarship. For example, if I again use the UK, they have the Chevening Scholarship, the British Council Scholarship, the Commonwealth Scholarship. So you can apply for these and get quite a lot of funding.
Okay. Great.
Thirdly, access to funds has become very easy in India. So which means to take an education loan is not very difficult anymore. Even for very, very high values like 50 lakhs or 80 lakhs, the loans are possible without much collateral. So
Okay.
everyone has a chance to study, has a chance to make their career. Because again, when you are studying, after that you are allowed to work. You get a job and you are earning in dollar terms, pound terms. So you are able to repay the
In
loan.
that location itself.
Absolutely. So you can
Okay.
repay your loan very, very quickly.
Okay. Now, if let's say students work part time while studying, is it actually feasible that work and like academics are not compromised and
See, it's not at all. The government of any country, if they are allowing you to work, they have thought about it. Let's be very clear. So for example, the UK, you are allowed to work 20 hours a week part-time. So let me break it down for you. Typically, your academic hours in university are roughly 20 per week.
Okay.
Then you are expected to study for a further 15 to 20 hours on your own, reading, homework,
Okay.
other projects which you are working on. After that, you still have time to work for about 20 hours. Now, this can take care of majority of your living expenses.
Okay.
The problems come in when students start working beyond 20 hours. That is when they compromise on their academics. As long as they stay within it, I have never seen any issues.
Okay. And have you seen those issues also that student worked which their
Of course,
academics are
it is more
compromised?
common than we think,
Okay.
unfortunately, because students always are stressing about their money. It is important, yes, I understand. But what is the reason why you went? You didn't go on a work permit, you've gone on a student visa. So the first priority is to study. But unfortunately, sometimes they go the other way and they are working for 50, 60 hours a week and
Okay.
barely attending university. And see,
Okay.
that immediately shows in the marks which they are getting. It immediately shows in the response they get when they apply for jobs. Because
Okay.
if you are not in the top 25, 30% of your class, it becomes difficult. And if you are working
Totally
that
agree.
much,
Great, sir. Great. I think I'm getting all the information directly. No searching, no reading big text. I'm just getting all the information and I'm really happy to get that. So, when we talk about the support services, apart from scholarships, university, what type of other support services typical university provide?
so a university thinks of everything because they know you have come far away from home. You are with them. So you will face, of course, academic challenges that they will, of course, take care of.
Okay.
You are normally assigned a professor as a mentor who's with you all throughout your academic journey. So
Okay.
you can reach out to this person whenever you feel like it,
Okay.
right? And to paraphrase and take a line from Harry Potter here, help will always be given when you ask for it. So the
Okay.
system is always in place. But you need to ask for help. They will
Okay.
not see. They treat you as adults. From an Indian point of view, बच्चा है हम कहते हैं. But over there, the second you go into university, you are an adult. You address the professor, not by sir, by their first name. That is how casual they are because they think that you are their equal. The professors I'm talking about, they are happy to take you out for a beer. Now, over here, a parent will say, "What? What's happening?" But that's the point. Their culture is such where in their eyes, you are an adult. So they have all the services available. So they have a counseling cell, they have a student council, they have multiple clubs for your interests, your requirements. If you need tutoring, they have a tutoring club also.
Okay.
Join it and someone will help you.
Great.
That's how it is.
And how does Mindways help a student to settle into a new country?
So we start first by cutting the noise. Friends want to go abroad. Sometimes, you don't know. Everyone's doing it, so hum bhi kar rahe. First, we understand why do you want to go abroad? Should you even go abroad? If required, I might even say, sorry, you should not go. It's not meant for you. It does not fit your requirements.
Okay.
So the sources of information are many with multiple sources, too much information. So we first help you cut through the noise.
Okay.
Make you understand what your requirements are, perhaps.
Okay.
If you're confused, we help you solve your confusion.
Okay.
And then we will help you with every part, every aspect of your application. And not just your application. From the time you're thinking till the time you're in university, we are constantly with you.
Okay.
That is how it works.
Great, sir.
So we will do your initial career counseling, university shortlisting, course selection, country selection. We will then help you with your application. We will even help you draft your LORs,
Okay.
right? And then we will completely take over the visa process for you. So we will talk to your parents, help them organize the finances, help you
Okay.
secure an education loan, and then prepare for an interview as well for the visa.
Everything you provide support services.
Absolutely. And once we have your visa, we'll help you find the right accommodation. We'll help you get your forex, get your ticketing done also. And we'll also introduce you to other students who are going to your university.
Okay. Great. Great. And generally, what are the common challenges? Let's say, as a student, I've just reached to UK. After that, what are the common challenges I might face and how to overcome them?
So first part is homesickness and culture shock.
Okay.
So what is normal here might not be so normal there. So though that is the first challenge which students face.
Okay.
Sometimes the difference in temperature and weather also might be extreme depending on where you are going. So those are the first initial couple of challenges. Secondly, academic standards might be very different.
Okay.
To give a very small example, of anywhere abroad, they want you to reference your work. So if you have used a quote from a book, if you have used a line from a newspaper, you are supposed to mention that.
that I have taken this from.
Absolutely. Now, in an Indian context, we generally do not do it.
No.
Right. So we have no, I mean, even if someone has done a bachelor's here, he would not understand the referencing. And over there, day one, you are expected to reference. Because if you don't reference, the softwares will pick up your work as
Plagiarism.
plagiarism
Plagiarism.
and they will automatically fail you. So those are challenges. Though again, universities also understand we logically might not know it. So what they need, they will first sensitize you. They will have a introductory session on referencing, for example. They will also, when you reach, do an orientation session. So they will take to give you a tour of the university. They will open your bank account. They will help you get a SIM card. So basically, see, when you go to a new country, even if I go to a new city, the challenges are the same. The university will come pick you up from the airport. They will
Okay.
take care of all the things which you logically will need in the first couple of days.
Okay.
So that is the level of support they give.
They actually come and pick up at the
Yes.
airport. Oh, that's great. Because if I go to a new country, first thing where I have to go, from where I will find a taxi, how will I manage to go?
So that is normally, in fact, that's every student's fear, and the bigger fear is of the parents. How will my child manage? So when we know they want to go abroad, we in fact request parents, please let your child be more independent. Please teach him, allow him to get his own glass of water. Please teach him some cooking. These things will help.
Okay. And generally, in the first visit, what all things students carry? Because I have seen in airports lot of achar boxes, ghee, and lot of stuff. Like I was traveling, that was early morning, like I think 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. was the time.
Right.
I was traveling, I think Dubai or some location. Lot of students coming and each student like crying. My mother has given me this ghee box, and
So the good part is now everything is available abroad. Yes, I agree. It will be a little bit more expensive. So you can think of anything Indian, you will get it there. You think of brands like Haldirams and MDH and Dabur, you will get them there. So luckily we don't need to carry because the cost of carrying is much more than buying them there. Because international suitcase weights are limited. What I do recommend is carry something which your mother has made for you. डोंट कैरी प्री पैकेज मसाला सब मिलता है वो आपको उनका लड्डू पसंद है वो ले जाओ उनके हाथ का अचार पसंद है वो ले जाओ
तो वो अचार भी निकाल लेते हैं ना वो.
अरे वो थोड़ा सा चलता है थोड़ा मस्ती चलता है so that is I think you should do it you don't need to carry a pressure cooker and masalas anymore सब मिलता है
सब मिलता है. Great, great. Now, sir, talking about placements, like what sort of services or what sort of help these universities provide to students and to these international students, let's say student coming from India and other parts of the world.
right so universities of course the most important metric for a university success is their placement so we look at rankings all the time how do you think rankings are so good or so high rankings are high because of course what their teaching is about but the second most important factor is what the placements are like
Okay.
and what the start salaries are like so they have a very very strong career cell which are available to you from day one so they are not there just to apply for jobs but they are there to groom you plan your career with you but again as I had told you earlier they will not go and find you you have to go
You
and
have to
find
find them.
absolutely they will be the happiest people if you say hi can you give me an appointment I want to discuss my plans so they will help you with internships they will do multiple networking events they will call people from outside so you can meet them talk to them but
Okay.
see again opportunities will be there you have to go and take them
Okay.
because on an average a university will have 15,000 students right
Totally agreed.
so how does it work you need to ask for it they will give it
Okay.
and a lot of them are very connected in their own industry so universities are also a temple of research now where they are doing research for whom the private sector the companies also so that is why the partnership is very very strong between the academia and the industry and that translates into jobs directly for students so universities are they are helping you why because then the companies are posting their requirements directly in the university
Okay. So this is one thing which you have solved. Now, what sort of like networking opportunities we get in these universities? Are there some events or how these things
Yes,
take
they
place?
have multiple events throughout the year. So one, they will take you on industry visits. They will invite industry to come to you in internal events which they conduct. They will
Okay.
also normally they will invite master networkers to come and teach you the art of networking,
Okay.
because not everyone might be a natural at it. So they will
True.
actually call people to teach you networking because they understand how important it is. So that is what. So they will do multiple events spread across the year so that you have opportunities to talk to different people, get perspectives, and maybe get a job through that, maybe get an internship through that.
And sir, what experiences can students gain in the UK, which can give them an edge in the job market? What type of experiences, if we talk about?
See, this is where the internship thought process comes through. And again, I know you're Indian, I know your friends might be Indian, but you need to go beyond that. Talk to other people, learn from them. There is a lot to learn just from talking to people,
Okay.
right? And that is where sometimes I feel I have seen people miss out. I will only talk to my 20 friends, I will not go beyond that. And that is a big, big mistake. So, the idea is learn, travel, explore. You are there for a reason. You are not there only to study. And that is what the universities will themselves tell you. Weekend hai, go rent a car, go somewhere. Take a bus, go somewhere. But don't study.
ग्रेट सर. यहाँ पे तो बस ये कह रहे हैं 10th कर लो, आफ्टर 10th एवरीथिंग, देन 12th, देन कॉलेज. सो इट्स
So that
जर्नी.
is why they are a little different. They don't want you to study on the weekend. The system is also designed in such a way where Monday to Friday afternoon you're done. After that, you start relaxing. Also, see, in that country, abroad, anywhere abroad, you have no servants. There is no help. You have to do your own cooking, your own cleaning, your own washing. When do you do it? When do you relax? Of course, weekend, if you study, then what will happen? So that is why they have give you the time to explore and do your own thing as well.
Okay. And let's say if as a student I want to stay after university also, after college also. So how to figure out that thing, how to solve that thing?
So the first part is, does the country allow you to stay back? So most countries, if you have studied there, they will give you some sort of work permit. So for example, in the UK, you can stay back for 2 years after you finish your bachelor's or master's. In the USA, you can stay minimum of 12 months and up to 36 months. In a country like Australia, you can stay back for even up to 5 years. Even that is possible. So that is the first part, is the opportunity. Now, only if you can stay can you do something about it. Right? And then again, this is where the career cell comes in. My advice here is start early, talk to them early on. Say, I want a job or I want an internship, I want the opportunity. Start applying early before the crowd wakes up. And trust me, you will have a job.
Okay, great. I will get the job. Now tell me, like, what are the common challenges in this whole study abroad journey, and how does Mindways help with those challenges?
So challenges, again, main issues with the main challenge as a student is that you are confused. That's the first problem. So one type of student will say that I don't know where I want to go, but I don't have an opportunity here. So I want to go abroad. I have heard things are better or different. So we will help solve your confusion through a proper counseling process.
Okay.
Through that counseling, we will help you understand what your needs are, your requirements are. And once that is sorted, we will help you through the entire journey, end to end.
Okay. And now the market is full. If I go to Punjab, even I can see a panwala selling study abroad. So how does Mindways is different from the rest? And how do you ensure that students receive that personalized kind of support services?
Thank you so much for asking this question. Thank you so much. So, why we are different is that everything depends on me. For us, we work on a one-to-one basis only. So we are not dealing with thousands of students. We are dealing with students who we can see, meet every day. We know their families, they know me, they know mine. That is the level of personalization we get into, right?
Okay.
So from that, what happens is the quality control also is extremely high.
Okay.
So, and I am more like a mentor to them, and my team is their own support team. Whenever they have a question, I request them, don't think, call. Don't message directly, call. It's much easier. So, and that is also another aspect. In this entire journey, it's not about filling an application form, getting this document. You will have thousands of areas where you will have doubts. And we are there
Totally
to
agreed.
help you with those doubts at every point.
Okay. Any instances where you have gone beyond in providing guidance to students or during the journey?
Of course, that also happens.
How? What are those instances?
So, for example, a student of ours, he is not from Delhi, and his passport, everything was very, very last minute. So, his passport had come to us. It could not be delivered to him. And I had gone personally to the airport to drop it to him at 1 a.m. at night for his
Okay.
flight. So, something of this sort. On the other hand, we've had students who've had financial difficulties. So we've gone out of our way to figure out how to arrange that scholarship for him, how to force that scholarship if required, and
Okay.
request the university that this guy is brilliant. You need to do something. So we've tried to do that as well.
Okay. Great. What are the top tips for the students to improve the chance of getting selected for a university?
First is start early, most important.
Okay.
So that will give you lots of time to then stay organized.
Okay.
So starting early, staying organized are the best things you can do. Now, once you have these two things sorted, then come to us. We'll tell you exactly what to do.
And how can students make most of their study abroad experience academically and culturally?
So again, it's not just about studies. Neither the universities want you to do that. So if you are there, explore, travel, network, meet people. That is what my suggestion would be, because you learn from your environment. And the advantage with universities abroad is they will have students from 70 nationalities, 100 nationalities, and you can learn so much from them, which will then help you at all aspects of your later life.
Great. And what advice would you give to students who get overwhelmed with the study abroad thing and confused where to start?
So the starting point is that create a plan of action, create a document checklist. We will help you, we'll give you everything. But as long as you are staying organized, it can all be done. It does
Okay.
not need to get overwhelmed if you have the right time to do all of this.
Okay, great. I think you have answered so many important. You have given us so many important insights, which I was thinking like if I want to send someone for the study abroad thing for UK or US, then how to proceed. Definitely. And one question, last question came in my mind is if I'm planning for let's say UK or let's say if I'm planning for US, if that gets rejected, should I drop my plan or how should I like work with that?
So first of all, when we work with you, 99% you're not getting rejected.
Okay.
That is for sure. I'm that confident with what we do. Right? So
Okay.
because the amount of preparation which we do will make sure you don't get rejected. But let's say luck has not favored you and something goes wrong. We will then analyze where the gap was.
Okay.
And most likely we will be able to apply again to the same country. Or
Okay.
however, in case we feel something has gone really wrong or you will not get that visa, we will immediately help you apply for another country. As part of our basic generic process, we always apply to minimum of 2 countries because I love a plan B in life,
Okay.
as with everything else. So when we apply, we are not applying to one university.
Okay.
We are applying to 5 to 6 universities in a country and at least 2 or 3 in another country as a backup.
Okay.
Because in today's geopolitical scenario, we don't know when something becomes a problem. Like Canada was one of the most popular countries 1 year ago. Today, there are hardly any students going there.
Okay.
So, like from a number of 100, we are down to let's say 20 overnight.
Oh, great. So definitely we should have a plan B, then only we can
Right.
like get the full success. So thank you, Anirudhji, for giving so much insights. Definitely it will really help me for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me over.